everyone. Today I will talk about a study on the influence of teachers' inquiry ability and critical thinking on constructivism teaching. Self-introduction. Name Li Dan. ID number PPP223002. University Technology Malaysia. Faculty of Science and Humanities. School of Education. Program Doctor of Philosophy. Field of Research Educational Psychology. Outline. Research issues, problems. Research objects, questions. Research designs. Data collection. Data analysis. Data interpretation. Data reporting. Expected findings. Reference. Research issues, problems. Triantafilo 2022 argues that the principles of the philosophical stream of constructivism offer the ideological background that will help instructors to create learner-centered and collaborative learning environments that aim at the development of critical thinking from learners and learning through experiments. Dr. Reginald Commercial 2019 claims that constructivism teaching can produce tremendous results. Piaget's theory of cognitive development, Vygotsky's theories of social-cultural development, and new Piagetian views of cognitive development have greatly contributed to the theory and practice of education. Research issues, problems. In a nutshell, teachers should encourage constructivist pedagogy in their classrooms. If autonomy, initiative, and leadership are to be promoted, and abundant shift in education is to be reached. Gahedit Joe Cois-Singh 2020. Kilter and author 2020 states developing teachers' critical reflection and cultivating questioning attitude are positive for constructing new class teaching. All these documents showed that constructivism teaching was very valuable. Teachers' inquiry ability and critical thinking are very important to constructivism teaching. This paper studies the status quo, reasons, and solutions of teachers' inquiry ability and critical thinking in constructivism teaching. Research objectives questions. This article tried to make a comprehensive, systematic, and in-depth review of the current situation of teachers' inquiry ability and critical thinking in constructivism teaching, summarizing the experiments and finding the existing problems to analyze the cause of the problems. On this basis, this paper conducted exploratory research on teachers' inquiry ability and developed strategies of critical thinking in constructivism teaching to improve the teaching level of constructivism. The purpose of this study was to explore the status quo, reasons, and solutions of teachers' inquiry ability and critical thinking in constructivism teaching. Research designs. Qualitative analysis was adopted in this study in view of the different levels of understanding of constructivism teaching. This article adopts case study research to do discourse analysis. The philosophical approach was interviews and observation. Data collection. To better understand the current situation of constructivism teaching, some structured interviews were conducted with 5 teachers from main target groups of Xinji City educational system. Teachers were defined as in-service teachers currently teaching in schools. Interviews were conducted via Zoom, and each interview lasted about 20 minutes. The response were recorded by note taking. The 5 interviews were screen recorded. Data analysis. This article analyzed the collected interview data and identified the following contents to do qualitative analysis: how teacher participants understood the meaning of constructivism teaching, inquiry ability, and critical thinking, why they had these opinions, how they got these views, how they had done constructivism teaching all the time, how they expressed their feeling about their situation, how they identified or categorized themselves and others in what they said. Data interpretation. Firstly, I familiarized with the data and prepared the memo by reading and memorizing the data. I collect all data related to constructivism teaching, inquiry ability, and critical thinking course to check whether the topic was relevant to the course, except and whether the topic was relevant to the entire dataset. And then I reviewed the data, searched for other topics. Secondly, I generated semantic maps of analysis and continued the analysis, refined the specific of each topic analysis, the overall story being told. I generalized a clear definition and named for each topic. And then I selected vivid examples and performed a final analysis of the select accepts. Finally, reports were generated by linking the analysis to constructivism teaching, inquiry ability, and critical thinking with reviewing the peer's literature. Data reporting. The data of teachers' inquiry ability and critical thinking in constructivism teaching was important because it was relevant to the topic of the study. By analyzing important data, I understood the status quo and problems of teachers' inquiry ability and critical thinking in constructivism teaching, and then analyzed how teachers' inquiry ability and critical thinking affected constructivism teaching. Finally, in paper, I tried to find strategy to improve teachers' inquiry ability and critical thinking in constructivism teaching. Expect findings. Teachers' inquiry ability and critical thinking would have a great impact on constructive teaching. Teachers can do a good job at the level of textbook knowledge. However, teachers do not do very well in exploring the logical framework behind the textbook knowledge and criticizing the logical framework. This affects the cultivation of students' constructive ability in the process of constructivism learning. We can try to find some new ways to improve teachers' inquiry ability and critical thinking level to help students better complete the construction of knowledge. This page and next page is list references. That's all from me. Thank you.